Hello everyone, this is Scramble from Emotionless Crypto Trading, and here we go with another video presentation around the Ethereum price analysis on the charts. So we're going to be technical today and decide on important levels. You definitely want to know what is the situation in the space in order to be able to trade. Now, the market cap is sitting around 450 billion and it's kind of struggling around that. Currently it's 462, but we do have movements around 450 billion on 24-hour basis. 24 hours volume way below 15 billion. I mean, it's, quite close. What I wanted to say is way below 20 billion as it used to be a couple of days ago. We were moving around and surviving around 20 billion. Now it's below that and it's floating around 15 billion, right? So that's not the best thing out there. A lot of the bulls are waiting specific signals to get started, which should happen in March as the market analysis says. On the other side, the BTC dominance is increasing, which is a bullish sign, right? 41.3 right now is the BTC dominance. If you check my previous videos where I'm talking about this, you will be able to see it was smaller. Now, you can do the same thing by clicking on it and seeing the history of the BTC dominance for the last couple of days to be able to add this information to whatever you're measuring when you consider running price analysis. So let's just get started. Technical today. Ethereum compared to dollar, 2-hour candlesticks for Bitfinex exchange. What we have today is a symmetrical pattern, which is definitely bullish, right? So I'm going to explain you what happens, the way it looks like, and what I'm going to share with you today is just going to be information helping you to trade. Right, so we're not giving trading advice, investment advice, or anything such. We're not giving here signals or anything like that. It's pure information, which is technical analysis that you can use in a proper way to trade better. Right, so all-time high position, everyone knows that. For Ethereum, around slightly above $1,400. False breakout here. Market tried to come back and retest the zone, but because we were into a downtrending environment, it was just a try, which could be categorized as a failed because it ended up slightly above our all-time high resistance trending line, basically, which is this green one here. Starts from the all-time high position, comes down the way on the trend line, of course, in the downtrending environment, right? So at that time it represented resistance, and that's something to consider. What we have else now, another thing that I like to share here is the 1,020 bucks between 980 resistance zone that we're having and we're going to face very soon, as soon as we reach there and break out of everything that we have just slightly above us as of right now. One of the things that we have there is the downtrending channel resistance line, basically this one right here, which I'm representing, which starts from here within this downtrend. Basically it starts from there, it just goes like that, it hits a top, confirms nicely, it also hits it over here with the main all-time high resistance trending line, comes down the way, it hits exactly there, comes down the way as I've mentioned, and right now we are testing it just like that there, right? So that's one of the things we need to break out in order to approach the $890 resistance line, which is appearing right here. So it has a confirmation. It definitely has a confirmation. I'm just going to move it just like this for you to be able to see it clearly. From previous resistance, it has been transformed into our next support. And then we did had some support over here as well. Another slight support above. Then, of course, when the market was trading below, it has been transferred into our resistance point once again. When the market was trading above, we were having it as a support, right? So just like that. And then, of course, currently as the market is trading below $890, which is very important price point. For a bullish run, we need 890 to support us. We need, whenever we're trading above it, to hit it and bounce back quite aggressively up above 1,000 bucks, which is the upcoming resistance zone. Basically this blue one right here, it's something that we definitely have to test But in order to make sure we have the ability to break out of that, we need the 890 resistance line, this blue line that starts from here, and it just goes like that. We need this one right here to act as a support. Now, what I mean by that is whenever we're coming down to it, we need to bounce from there basically with huge power, as the market have done in various cases. For example, when we were on the, should I say, very bullish run at this time, the market was going parabolically from there and breaking out of any sort of resistances that were appearing, or any sort of recovery phases that were slightly and smalls close to our bull runs, didn't really make any sort of impact on our market, considering 890 is very powerful, right? So we need it to bounce back. Whatever happens after that, it doesn't matter, as long as we are able to support and confirm on 890 as a support. And then at some point basically we could definitely break out of the upcoming zone that we have. Actually, it's the first zone that we need to break out as considered of resistance, right? And then we have the ability to go forward and see what's happening next. For that period, basically for this side and for these prices, we didn't done the technical analysis. We did not represent the important price points, as there's still a lot to go, right? So on the other side, if we'll look down the way, what's happening down the way is we do have a support zone which is located, and it starts from here, 790, between 770, has few confirmations. We're able to bounce from there. We're just able to have the right movements, which is fundamentally represented by the support zone. The market was trading above quite a lot of the times over the last few months, and that's what's happening even as of right now. So we're way above that. Now, for some reasons, if we're breaking out of this support line, which is also an option, the probability of that is a lot smaller than breaking out of the downtrending channel resistance line, which starts from here, goes down the way just like this, right? And it creates, with the support line, it creates a symmetrical triangle. Now, the symmetrical triangle in this situation is a bullish pattern. We just have to see if that's going to confirm or not. Confirmation is going to appear in the downtrending channel resistance line, which starts from here, which is the upper side of the symmetrical triangle, breaks out, right? It breaks out, confirms above it, and we're good to go to test the 890 resistance line, which needs to be transformed into our support, because right now it's acting as a resistance. So in the upcoming movements, we can definitely do that, as long as we're testing it in a bullish environment, right? So the next things that you guys want to consider out of this area is we were able to establish higher lows, which means a market that moved basically and established lower positions at a higher level than previous ones. As well, on the other side, on the top, on the downtrending resistance top, which follows by a resistance line, we were able to establish lower highs, which is definitely clear. Basically, it appears just like that. So this is the way it looks like. That's why we are into this symmetrical triangle, which looks like a bullish pattern. And traditionally speaking, fundamentally speaking, this is a bullish pattern. Now, the only thing that we need is the confirmation, have the 890 level acting as a support, then pushing towards to the resistance zone, which is appearing around the $1,000, right? So it's gonna appear there. As soon as we break out of that, what's happening next? It's just gonna be a question of time till we're going to be at the all-time high level once again. That's what the market needs, to be in this area. As soon as Ethereum is going to be there, the market is just going to be way above 600 billion total market cap, which is like 150 billion from now, and that's not really a big deal. Just in like 2 or 3 bullish days with, you know, decent volume, we can be there, right? Of course, the decent volume is way more than the average on the last couple of weeks, as we were used to have a weaker volume for some reasons in the last weeks. Now, of course, it's not for some reasons, it's definitely for a reason, and for a reason that is, I mean, that kind of reason is just because we're into a sort of a accumulation stage. And the accumulation stage permits a lot of the people to buy into with whatever they have in order to gain the upcoming increases, right? So we're facing a lot of the resistances. We were having all these bearish times around the market, and now it's kind of presenting, and the balance is kind of forwarding towards, and it's balancing towards to a better market, especially for the entry of March, right? So that's kind of all about from the technical side. I've made this to be understandable for every single beginner out there. I didn't make it complicated at all. It's definitely for a swing trade, and you could consider a possibility if we just take this measure tool, we put it from here, and we're trying to see till the level we start entering into the resistance zone around 1,000 bucks. That would be just like 13% difference in the price. If you do remember, when we were in bullish days, we were having between 8 to 15% growth in the Ethereum price. That's why I mean that's definitely possible. We just need 1-2 days of powerful bullish movement, right? So feel free. Oh, there's another thing that I wanted to share with you. I'm sorry. Right, there's another thing. Here's the symmetrical triangle once again, right here. Symmetrical triangle happened. What was that? That was in December 2017. End of December happened the same. Usually, like I'm just told you a couple of minutes ago, a couple of seconds ago, this is a bullish pattern speaking fundamentally, and this is what happened over here as well. We did break out on the resistance and just went parabolically to the all-time high. So I'm just gonna come back here and share with you that the symmetrical triangle is happening once again. We just have to be supported by the A90 level, break out of the zone, which is around 1,000 bucks, and then activate within this box right here, which is gonna help us to retest the all-time high position and go bullish for the next months, which is definitely possible, right? So as I've mentioned in my last videos, we could definitely expect a market sitting around $1.5 trillion somewhere close to the end of the year, depending on the cycles that we're going to have, and also depends on the bull run of the market, which is going to take a couple of weeks, if not months. Depends how powerful is that going to be. We might have 2 rounds or 3 rounds of powerful bull runs, right? So it's not really limited to one. As long as it's still within a cycle, it can definitely happen, and you just have to expect it. The market is very it's at very early stages. It's still very baby in my opinion compared to what it could be, compared to what sort of the money we could have over here. You don't have to be afraid at all out of the current price point and of what's going to happen, because whoever buys into it right now is going to make profits by just holding. Now, I truly believe by not trading, you're going to leave a lot of the money on the table, which is something you don't want to do. So trading it actively and sort of a way buying the dips and selling in the highs, which is the fundamental part of the trading in the crypto space, that's the easiest. In the same time, it's kind of the hardest, as it seems like, as long as you're not really aware of the technical side of the things, right? So thank you so much for watching. I do have a ICO spreadsheet where I'm rating spreadsheets with my team. Feel free to check that in the first link of the description area, but also in my other videos on my channel, right? So that's kind of all about. Drop your ideas in the comments area. Thank you so much. Feel free to subscribe. I would definitely love you to have a subscriber, and I'm gonna put out a lot more videos over the next week and so on, especially around the ICO spreadsheet. I know there's big hype around the ICOs. Everyone wants to know about them. Everyone wants to see reviews and details and rating system. So that's kind of all about. Thank you so much for watching, and talk to you soon.